Test 1, 2. Welcome to RiseUpTV.com. My name is Jim Hollinger, and I'll be your host this evening. We've got some special guests with us, and we want to talk about a problem that New York City had back in 1885. In 1885, they had a big problem because the Statue of Liberty was in a crate, had to be put together, and they needed $100,000 to do it. But they had a problem because New York City said they couldn't afford it. The state of New York said, we can't do it. Congress said, we can't agree on how to do it. Some things never change. Well, anyway, we want to take a look at that because what happened is the people came together and they began to think and figure out how can we get this done? And that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to solve the problem, and they came up with a solution. Joseph Pulitzer, the owner of the New York World Press, put an ad in his newspaper. This is the first fundraising campaign that's been done, and they raised $101,000 from 160,000 different donors. Now, if you take a look at that, you're going to realize something here. You're going to look at that and you're going to say, well, wait a minute, that's less than $1 a piece. That's right. People gave what they had. They were given nickels, dimes, quarters. The kids were doing what they could, and everybody was pitching in with what they could do. Back then, that's a lot of money. And so they raised it up and they put together the Statue of Liberty. 97 years later, President Reagan wanted to put together a crowdfunding project, fundraising, and he raised over $700 million to refurbish the Statue of Liberty for the celebration centennial. He asked Leah Iacocca if he would head that up, and he did, and the money is still coming in from that, by the way. Another president was involved in raising money on crowdfunding, and that's President Obama. He raised over $500 million in 2008 for his campaign. And when people ask me, they say, is this thing legal? Well, let's see. Our presidents have done it. New York City did it. The answer is yes, it's legal. As a matter of fact, in 2012, President Obama signed the Jobs Act, which said that businesses could raise money using crowdfunding because the banks weren't loaning out money. And so they can raise that money through that. And we're going to be taking a look at that, and we're going to be sharing some things with you. But the Statue of Liberty did get finished. It was raised up. And the Statue of Liberty stands for freedom, for liberty. And we want to take and go one more step farther because we have another problem today. And that is Congress still can't come up with a solution for what we face. The middle class are disappearing. But once again, Americans have come together and said, we've got a solution, we can help. And so we have taken a look at what this is about, and we're going to share it with you tonight. And I've got a question to ask you. If you watched the video before the program, it was talking to you about what would you do with $100,000. I want you to think about that as we go through this presentation. There's several ways to raise money today. We've got all kind of crowdfunding projects. There's over 1,000 different ways of doing that, but there's some things that you need to know about it, and we want to share some of that information with you. There's different kinds of fundraising projects. There's fundraising, there's crowdfunding, there's community funding, and now we want to talk about cooperative pool sharing. And we want to introduce to you how all of this works. Did you know that less than half of all the people who start a fundraising project actually succeed at it? So we want to take a look at why most people fail and show you how to become successful in raising money for what you have and what you'd like to do by using cooperative pool sharing. So you're saying, what is cooperative pool sharing? I'm going to disconnect my phone here. Cooperative pool sharing is exactly what it says. It's not anything new. A lady called me and she said, I want to take my kids to Disney World with the husband, and we want to go there and we want to enjoy ourselves, and I'd like to raise the money to do it. And I thought about crowdfunding, and I want to know what you can help me with. And I said, well, let me ask you a question. Are you telling me that you're going to ask your friends and relatives to give you money so you can go on vacation? I could tell she was very uncomfortable with the idea. And she said, well, yeah, that I feel funny about that. And I said, look, there is a way to do this. The way to do it is to not think of it as people giving you money to go on vacation. Think about the other person. Ask yourself, do your friends need to take a vacation? Do your friends have some debt they'd like to get rid of? Do your friends have a business they'd like to expand? And see if you can share with them and cooperate and work together. This was done by the early pioneers. They got together, somebody moved into the community, they wanted to build a house, and they said, we'll help you do it, we'll help you build your barn, but first you're going to need to help the people that are ahead of you. And so they went together and they would build barns and houses in a day, in a week. The whole family, the whole community got together. It was a big celebration. And the same thing goes on today. We have the Amish people who still do that sort of thing. We have the Habitat for Humanity, and they have some rules, though. They say, before we build your house, you're going to have to help somebody else build theirs. So you know how it's done, how to take care of the house, and you'll have the help that you need, and that's how it works. And it's been working great for hundreds of years, and it's still working today. So how does that, and what does that have to do with what we're talking about? Well, word of mouth is the most powerful tool that you've got. Last year, paying off student loans grew by 4,000%. And I'd like to tell you about this gal here. Her name is Alexis, and she had a school bill that was due, and she didn't have the money. She needed to raise $5,000. Everybody kept telling her, use crowdfunding. Go ahead and do that. She says, would you help me? Yeah, we'll help you. We'll get it going. All you got to do is put up a project and then advertise it through your social media. And she was overwhelmed and when she surpassed her goal of $5,000 in the first 27 hours. As a matter of fact, she immediately went to her crowdfunding page and she thanked everyone who had helped her. And she said, listen, I'm going to read this to you. Today, you all have showed me that there is love in this world and that hard work is never in vain, no matter how hopeless a situation seems. You are all incredible, and I will pay every cent forward as I continue on the road to success. She went on to receive $9,761. That's people working together. What made it work is all the students were still in school. They were spreading the word, and a lot of students got their student loans paid off because of that. During the year with our program, though, you can change your project. Well, why is that important? Well, it's important because when you change your project, people sometimes don't think about what their real needs are. When she gets out of school, what's she going to need? She's going to need housing, furniture. She's going to have some travel expense. She may need to have to get a car. She's been in a dorm, so she's going to need a lot of stuff. Well, with our program, you can go ahead and raise your funds for a full year. So as your project changes, as your needs change, you can also change your funding project. And with most crowdfunding projects, there's a cost to get involved. It's free to get started, but there's anywhere up to 10, 15% of the cost of that. So if you raise $9,000 at 10%, that's $900. Now I'm a value shopper, and I look at that and I'm going, that's $9,000. That's a lot of money. 900 bucks I could have had. Is there a better way to do this? And yes, there is. We'll let you put together a project for $250, and it's good for 1 year, and it has some other benefits. All the money that you receive through donations are yours, and there'll be no money taken out of that. It all goes right into your bank account. I live in a town, and there's 5 colleges here. And this is Jenny, and she's going to be sharing with us her story. She teaches a Chinese Bible study at Notre Dame for Notre Dame students that come here from China. They come here, their language isn't very good, and so they find out that what the English they taught them in China doesn't exactly work over here, because we kind of go, what'd you say? But she teaches this Bible study in English. The Bible's her textbook, and she's very careful, very slow with people, and she helps them learn English. She's made a lot of friends. She's been doing this for over 20, 25 years now, and she's got a lot of students. She teaches this twice a week, and she's wanting to raise money because now that she's retired, before paying for stuff was no big deal, but they feed the kids, they buy them supplies, they take them out on outings. And so she's seeking to raise $500 for supplies, and she's been invited over to China by many of the students. I mean, these are college professors that come over here to Notre Dame to brush up on some of their information and knowledge. So there's a lot of people that she has trained that would love to see her, and she has contact with all the time. So and we're in a great situation for that, because not only can we tell them about her project and get them involved in her class, but we can tell them how to pay off their school bill. This is Bob. He's the first guy that I enrolled. And his project, he worked with Little League for over 40 years. He was coaching, he was helping out, he was raising funds, and his project is to help Little League discover the value of cooperative crowdfunding, how that they can give back to the community when they ask people to donate. You see, the days of going out and selling candy are over for them. They don't want to put the kids out there. They said it's too dangerous, and they look at this as a solution. One of the projects that Bob wants to do is the Little League Challengers down here in the bottom right corner, and they need a special ballpark, and it's going to cost $1 million. And so as we teach Little League and how to do this and how to raise funds, one Little League team invites another, who invites another, who invites another. But it gets better than that, because when they ask the parents to donate for their fundraiser each year, everybody that donates a project of $250 or more can receive a project of their own in return. That means they can start to put together the money to send these kids to college. That means that if they want to, they can use the money to get themselves out of debt. That means if they want to start a business, they can raise the money to do that. And so Bob is excited about being able to share that with people and how that is all going to work. And that principle applies to all the things that we're going to be talking about. Helping other people, giving back to the community, and then working together to get the job done. Mitch is the second person I invited, and he is a vet, and he is raising funds to help vets get the extra care that they need. Some of them can't find jobs. They can't find good jobs. And so they are raising money for them, and they actually give them money to get them started out of their pocket, but they also want them to become self-sufficient and to help other people and other vets with their projects. So we'll share more with you about that a little bit later. But we are becoming the crowdfunding product of choice because of the way we're structured and the way we help other people. Now, exactly what is it? And when I hear about something like this, I want to know, okay, what is this? How does it work? How much does it cost? Can I do it? And is it worth doing? So we want to answer those questions for you. Instead of trying to raise support for from your family and friends, why not help them reach their goals? Reach out to them, ask them if they have a project. What would they do with $100,000? That question is so important, because once you know what they would do with $100,000, the next thing is you can help them get that. So when you do that with other people and you share that with them, they become a part of your cooperative pool sharing. And I'm going to be explaining that as we go down here in a second, okay? How does it work? We're going to take a look at that. We're going to see how you can achieve your goals and your dreams by helping other people. There's two ways to receive donations or income with the Rizeup platform. The first one is people come up to you, you tell them about their project, they see it on the internet, and they might walk up to you and they put $300 in your hand. You thank them. The money goes into your hand, into your wallet, into your bank. It's yours. If they write you a check and put it in a card and send it to you, it's yours. If they go on our website and they donate it to you on the website through the share button, it goes directly into your bank account. Nobody's holding it but you. That's yours 100%. The second way we do and get income is through pool sharing. These are pool sharing donations, pool sharing that comes in. And I'm going to explain how that one works because that's going to take a little bit more time here as we do that. When you enroll, you can have a platform for $250. That's an annual cost. If you want to keep your project going, there's an annual fee to do that. So when you join, two things happen. One is you're going to have a project like what I've been showing you here. Doesn't matter what it is. And the other thing you're going to be able to do is raise money by showing this to other people and helping them. When you know somebody's getting married, I'm going to pick on Rick here, okay? Hey, Rick, I know you're getting married in 6 months. If I could show you a way to take a trip to Europe and take a honeymoon there, would you be interested? He goes, well, I can't afford that. And what if it was only $250? I'd be interested now. So you show them how this works and they can do it. If they don't get all the money they're looking for, they can still take a whopping honeymoon, all right? But if they do, by helping enough other people, they'll have what they want. I shared this with Mitch and he says, wait a minute. He said, so if I go to the bridal shop and I share this with the bridal shop and say, how many brides in here would like to raise the money to pay for their wedding or their honeymoon? They can do that? I said, yeah. And he says, the baker, the tuxedo shop? And he just went nuts, okay, and inviting people. And he's already, in his first week, he invited 8 people to join us. Now, here's how you get paid. $120 is your commission, okay? You're going to receive that. It is a commission. It is taxable. Then the other $120, the company's going to take that. That's their share, and they're going to give it back to you in your pool sharing. So that means you've received $240 out of the $250. $10 of it goes to the company expense of setting up the project. You say, well, I know somebody who's got a school bill. You invite them, you share this with them, and how much are you going to receive? $120 and $240 in the pool share. So it's $240 commission you've just earned, $240 goes into your pool sharing, and you are now ready and just qualified for something else. Now, I want you to watch close here because you've just qualified for pool sharing. Those 2 projects qualified you to receive pool sharing. We've got 10 different pools that will have money in them, and you're going to receive shares of that money. The power of duplication. How does that work? When my father-in-law and mother-in-law were having their 50th anniversary, they called all of us kids up. They said, look, get the kids together, get the grandkids together, the great-greats, bring them here. We want to see all of them here. We're going to have a big thing for our 50th. We're going to have a photographer here, and we want to take a family portrait of the whole family. And so we got there, and there were a lot of people there. The photographer had a problem. He tried a location, couldn't get everybody in. He went to the second location, couldn't get everybody in. Went to the third location. Finally, he could get the picture taken without having people hidden behind each other. And I remember Dad looked at Mom and he said, you know, he said, the 2 of us did all of this, just the 2 of us. And this is what's happened because of us. And that's the power of duplication. It's like the story of the penny doubled every day. And what we do is you have 2 people who tell 2 people about a project. Those 2 people, they go out and tell 2 other people. Somebody wants to help the environment. Somebody else wants to become a doctor, or they've got a medical bill or a dental bill they need to get taken care of. Other people want to buy a car. These are normal things. And we can crowdfund and raise money for these normal things because we're doing it together. Here's somebody who's taking their hobby and they want to turn it into an income, but it's more of a hobby. So they're not going to get paid for the time that they put into a lot of stuff. But these, now we have the 2 have turned into 4. These 4 go out and they share it with 4 more. Now there's 8 people. And that's how it works. So whether you're trying to raise money for a ball team, to go on vacation, for community projects, for health, for cars, hobbies, maybe you'd be liking to do what I do and become a coach, a mentor. I have been teaching and doing fundraising since 1976. That's my first crowdfunding project. Maybe you'd like to remodel your home. It doesn't matter what you do with the money, but by helping each other this way, we can fund projects that most people would be embarrassed to even think about doing, to ask people to give them money to get out of debt or to fund their retirement account because they were surprised when the market crashed and they lost all that money. But we can help them do that. I'm going to give a disclaimer here because we're getting ready to talk about how the compensation plan works. And so let's take a look at it. I'm going to show an example of how mathematically how this works in a perfect world. The world isn't perfect. It's not going to work the way I show you. And the reason for that is, like me, when I got started my first week, I invited 5 people. Mitch invited 8. And there's also people I invited who didn't invite anybody yet. Why? Well, some people have to know everything before they do anything. Folks, we want you to get promoted. You only need 2 people. That's all you need to qualify for this pool sharing. We want to help you get those 2 people in 24 hours. That's why we're doing these webinars 4 times a day. We want you promoted in 24 hours so you can either say, okay, I'm qualified. That's all I want to do. I was just looking to raise $3,000 for a book I want to get published, and we'll take care of the rest. That's all we ask you to do. And we've made it so easy for you to do that. And I'll share that with you in a little bit. But it's not going to work the way we talk about, but we're going to talk about how the money flows. Let's take a look at this. We started out asking you about $100,000. So we're going to show you how to receive that, what you have to do to receive $100,000. The first thing you want to do is share this with 2 people. When you do that, you're going to receive $120 a piece, $240 for sharing it with 2 people. And $240 goes into the pool sharing. That's what the water represents here, the pool, okay? And an interesting story about that. The reason I use this picture is because our money needs to have babies. And that's what pool sharing does. It lets our money have babies. There's too many people today whose money are having babies for the wrong people. We say, well, what are you talking about? They've got debt. And their money is going to have babies, but it's having it for the finance companies, for the credit card companies. You need to claim that back, and we're going to be showing you more about how to do that also. The second thing you want to do is help the 2 people you invited do exactly what you did. Hey, I want you to go out and in the next day, I want you to invite 10 people to look at this, to ask them to look at a 3-minute video. If they like it, enroll, and they can get more information. That's it. That's what you do. Just invite people to watch a 3-minute video. After you've done that, now you're starting to qualify for your pool sharing on the 3rd floor. And there are 4 shares here, 4 shares on that 3rd floor. And each check will be for $240. And you'll receive it as people push each other up and lift each other up. That's why we call it Rise Up. $240 times 4, a total of $960. $240 at a time, $960 total. On the 4th floor, there are 12 shares in the pool. These checks will be for $480. As they come in, you'll receive those checks up to $5,760. How long does it take? That depends upon you. Whether you go, and if you work like Mitch and I, it's not going to take but a month. If you want to wait a month to get started, it's going to take you a year. Okay, so it's up to you. One thing about it, if you get in our way, we're going to go ahead and put people under you to qualify you anyway, because we're doing this with or without you. But at least you'll be pool qualified, even if you don't invite anybody. Isn't that good news? Never before has this kind of thing been done. Number 5, there's 28 people on this floor. You receive $960 for each person that comes to that floor and qualifies, and a total of $26,880. On the 6th floor, there's 60 people there. Your checks will be for $1,920, and you can earn up to 60 of those. There's your $100,000. We just did it. That's what it takes to earn that. And we're going to have a lot of people do that in our first year. That's our goal. I want to show you another floor because I just want to show you the potential here. We're not going to go through this whole thing, but if you're trying to pay off your mortgage or build a new house, you're going to need this kind of money here. So the 7th floor would be your goal. You're going to have 124 people there. You're going to receive checks for $3,840 up to a total of $476,000. That's $476,000. You'll notice here that these numbers have been doubling as we go up here. They just keep doing that. So that's as far as I'm going to go. That's enough for most people. But if you've got a church and you want to build a new building with your church, instead of burning the church's mortgage, why don't you help everybody in the church burn their mortgage? What a project that would be. We're having a mortgage burning for all of our members. And in the meantime, it's going to spread to other churches, to other people. And there's going to be, how many people would like to pay off their mortgage? A lot of them. Rizeup makes its money in 2 ways. There are no fees for all donations that are received. Every donation that's given to you on your page with your donation button is yours without any fees except for the $250 to purchase the software. $10 of each one of those sales goes to the company. That's the setup fee. Rizeup sends you money from pool sharing. This is where the company comes and charges you a little extra, but it's from money that they put back into the pool for you. They will deduct 20% up to $50 for a fee. That means the most they're going to collect is $50. So if your check is anywhere from $250 to $10,000, a one-time fee will be charged just $50. Question for you. Do you know anyone, maybe yourself or a friend, that needs to raise money for any kind of dream project? Anybody at all? We can help. We can help. If they've got a dream over here in the clouds and they've always thought about what they'd like to do, we can show you and we can help you how. Not help you. It's your turn to become a part of our team. Get back with the person that sent you here and say, hey, I want to know more about this. I want to get involved. I like what I see. I like what I've heard. What do I have to do to get started? Or you can get a hold of your trainer and your coach, of which I am one, but it doesn't matter who you get a hold of. Just make sure the person that invited you knows about it. Now I'm going to share some other stuff with you here, and I'm going to open up the sound for you to be able to hear. And the webinar doesn't play videos very well. If I played this video right here, it would be choppy. So what I've done is I've done the PowerPoint presentation to explain this to you, but we have here a stage, a platform where you can use it to tell your story. This is the first video that you saw, and when you go here and you want to play this video, it pops up to the top. That's why we call this a stage. And it'll go ahead and it'll play that video there. You go down here and you want to tell people about the people that you've invited. You can go ahead and introduce your team here. I'm going to let this one play for just a little bit.
So Rizeup today, crowdfunding is, in my estimation.
So you saw why it's choppy, but it's a great way to promote your team. At the beginning, you saw me introduce team members, and that's what I do. That's what I created the Rizeup TV station for, is to introduce other people and have them join it. And you can have your own private channel if you want it, especially if you've got other projects besides just our crowdfunding. We do support other projects. How do we do that? Okay. Why do we do it? Here's one. This is my gift to you when you enroll and you get your first 2 people. If you've got debt and you want to know how to pay off your mortgage, how to get out of debt, I'm going to give you the class that I've been teaching for 14 years of how to eliminate your debt, how to pay a mortgage off and save 100 mortgage payments without refinancing, without borrowing any money, without increasing the payments. When it comes to inviting people, you go over here to the green toolbox, click on that, and we're going to show you how to take it. I'm going to not play that video, but how to take debt and turn it upside down to create wealth. Congratulations, when you become a part of our team, the first thing you want to do is invite others. Now I want you to look at this. After you have enrolled your first 2 people, email me or call me and I'll give you your personal debt elimination software. No cost, even if you're not on my team. Let's take a look at a couple of examples here. This one here, They've got 10 creditors, $198,000 in debt, 54 years old, just bought and planned for their retirement. They've got 359 months of payments to go yet. At age 83, now, folks, statistically, the man is not going to live that long. That means the wife's going to get stuck with that. And there's a better way. Without refinancing, without increasing the payments, we're going to show you how that can be done in less than 10 years. We do an analysis. It'll show you that. No guessing, no wondering. Shows you exactly what it's going to take and how it's done. The end result is you're going to save $173,000. Instead of paying $441,000 or $243,000 in interest, you're going to pay $71,000 in interest. Here's a 30-year-old. You don't have to have a lot of debt to this to work. Here's a 38-year-old. When he came to us, it was a joy working with him. They wanted to know how to get out of debt, and they didn't have that much debt compared to most people. 29 years, they just bought a new house, first a starter home, and it'll be paid for at age 59. It's going to pay $63,000 in interest. We ran the analysis. He can be debt-free in 5 years. He actually did it in 3, only paying $11,000 in interest, saving $52,000. So that's what you can have, and that's my gift to you because I want to help you. I want to help you get out of debt. If you want to know how to use this stage, here's a video that shows you how to do it. And so you want to go through that training program and do that. The other thing that we want to do is we want to show you how to get started and how to invite people. So when you join, the first thing we're going to do is give you another set of instructions that shows you how you can invite 3 people and how we do that and how we get that done in one day. That's up to you. Get back with the person that shared this with you, and I'm going to open up the lines and we can talk and chat, but get back with the person, and I will look forward to helping you as we do these webinars each day for a day, helping you get your funds done. All right. Tom, you there? Tom? I'm going to guess that you heard me or you wouldn't have been there this long. Hey, if you guys want to ask questions, you can call my phone number and we can chat on that. I don't know why I'm not hearing you. I just found something else. This is the first day that I've checked this stuff all out and have run it. So that's what it is. All right. Chat muted. No. Either of you guys have speakers on your phone? If you want to call my number, you can call me at 574-234-3616. And I can conference 2 people in. So it looks like if Tom, you're still here and Chuck, you're here, we can do that. Can't hear me. Can you hear me now? I didn't close the webinar.